Sup, peeps? My bad. I was too slow with it. No. These are not the same people. Not the same people. Our teammates are the same, but... Is that how much you get? 80? Nice. There we go. I was getting that, and then I kept getting fucking losing streaks, and now I'm back to being hard stuck again. Our side hop up. 3 dead. Last one on. I need to look mid. P2. Nothing P2, they're all front. Fucking loser. Front. Beats her. That's good, dude. Just gonna start pushing now. Two mid. I got one. Good shit. One top solar. On our side tank, back tank. One mid cut. Up. Yeah, we flipped this out. Barrel. Done. Guys, start pushing through. If you can, that guy's a bullet dad. Go ahead, push through. Yeah, I'll just sit. We're good. You guys should be good to chow that. Good shit. Good break. Last one in the back. Back dead. It's fucking better than these kids. It's fucking terrible. I have a Hellstorm. This guy's gonna try me front. One more underneath. Two front. One's going underneath. Two going new. That's crazy. You're not good. The fucking guy just tried telling me. That's insane. Nah, fuck me, dude. That guy actually got me. They're all in the back, You got one more. One more. That's it. Yeah, we spawn here. Oh, I did not know that. Shit. One more. 2 on. Yeah, why are they pushing for 10 seconds? Crazy. Yeah, that was insane. Wait for the pinch. Dead. One more. 2 on that side. 1 aim on one other side. Good fucking hit. Good trade. Ah, you fucking came back on me. I'm just gonna save this Hellstorm until we really need it. Oh, good, Miguel. One A-bomb. Watching the hop up. That guy should be fucking dead. That's crazy. I got pinched. There's 3 on. Dead. Oh, that's all. Alright, we're still in it. We're good. Nothing mid. I got no hits mid at least. They're still spawning out. Yeah, I can win that. I have a trophy. Top solar. Top solar. Pushing on. No. Fuck. Bomb solar dead. Dead. Still in it. At bottom right solar. Their side. I'm gonna say new and call this in. Just to fucking hit him off. You got 2 on, 1 in the back. Yeah. Side door dead. Fucking perfect timing on that. One more. Good help. Good help. This is our money hill, so we should be good. This is where we come back. Got 2 front. Stairs. Got another Hellstorm. Dead. One more on me. Good shit. Good shit. One below window going mid-cut. Fuck. Fuck that guy. Kim! Kim! Sorry, I was locked in. I was locked in, Kim. I apologize for that. Apologize for that. What's up? 34 straight months is crazy. 34 straight months is crazy. I'm sorry. I was locked in. I don't know if I heard it come through or not. Good shit. Side. Did you just trade with that guy? No, you didn't. Oh, I thought you did. I was like, what the fuck? Fucking dumb fuck. Dumb fuck. Dumb fuck. One more B A-bomb. Family girl with the likes. Let's go. And the share. Let's go. Let's go. Hell yeah. Good fucking shit. They're gonna spawn on me. A-bomb. Oh. Our side. Oh, you got me. Hey, hi. Yo, what's up, sweet? Hello, welcome in. What's up? How are we doing, peeps? How are we doing? If I can't talk right away, I'm sorry. I'm just locked in. About to try and play Hope No Light. Yo, hell yeah. Let's go. It's a great day. It's a great day. How the fuck did I not get anyone off that? At work, so can just drop by for a minute, but was getting water open TikTok, and here you are. Here I am. I'm here. I'm fucking ready. I'm fucking ready. I'm great. Hannah's bugging me at work today. Hannah! Can't allow that. Can't allow that. Oh, I got two on me. Fuck. Oh yeah, that's game. That's game. We just need on point. Oh no, it's not. Fuck, they spawned right there. No. No. How the game's going? So far, so good. So far, we have the games going good. We won our last one by like 100, I think. This one, we're just trying to shut it down. I can't lock in. I can't lock in. Yeah, she's bored, so she's helping me at work. Oh, okay. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Hey, I'd do that. I'd do that. If I could. Fuck. Gotta win that user. Good shit, boys. Good shit. We win this. We win these. Win that shit. Ah, get him out of here. Get him out. Fucking won it. We won. I didn't even have to look. I trusted. I trusted. How's work? How is work today so far? Family Girl, are you trying to join up? Are you trying to squad up with us and see how the games are? You can join up. Sweet, I haven't played Raiders since I played Raiders yesterday, and the update kind of threw me the fuck off. Threw me off completely. I was like, what? I want to clip that because that was pretty good. I killed the vape. I've never seen a vaporizer before in my life. Didn't even know what a close scrutiny is, like the arc thing. Had no idea what that was. That was terrifying. Yeah. That whole thing was kind of whacked. And it scared the hell out of me. I can scared all lag. You're good. You're fine. Hold on. Hey, aim. Don't slur yet. I got one coming. Y'all in a voice chat or game? We're just in game chat. We're just in game chat right now. Also, hey, brother. Kim, legend, with the 34 straight is crazy. 34 straight is crazy. Yeah, flying matriarchs are scary. Yeah, they are. It's terrifying. And I don't like it. It's fucking terrifying. Like, they can just go away. That's fine. They can go ahead and fly away somewhere else. We don't want them. Hell yeah. Alright, Amy, you should be able to start now. It's all good. If you lag, it's fine. We'll figure it out. Sweet, we gotta play sometime. I also got another Wolfpack blueprint if you want it. I found that. Technically 27 straight, but that's over 2 years non-stop, which I didn't even realize. Oh God. That's crazy. He was here. Where'd he go? I know. We gotta like I don't know. He's like, nah, I'm good. I wonder if he's No, you're good. He's fine. He lagged out of my game anyway. I think he might have to restart. We will trust. We got this. We got this. There he is. You're good. I'm gonna promote you back to host and get you going. get you going with it. I haven't played COD forever, so I'm sure I'm gonna be ass. Oh god, no, it's fine. You're good. You're fine. Trust, I'm ass. I'm ass at this game. Not really, but I feel like I am compared to a lot of other people. We ended up winning that 3v4 after you skipped out. Did you lose SR off that or anything, or? Hell yeah, you did. I keep getting like Jack, SR. Let's see. Yo, thank you for the heart me. Let's fucking go. Appreciate you. Alright, back to work. Good luck in your games. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Have fun at work. Make sure it's not boring. Kick ass and take names. Also, just give him hell. Honestly, sweet, just give him hell. Honestly, at work, just give him hell. Fuck him. Nice. Nice. We got Dan. I thought we were going to get Blackheart. That's crazy. This guy says he's chat man, and yet I can hear him. Crazy. Hey, you know, Kim, you're still, you know, a legend. 27, 34, it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. You're still OG. This guy's chat band and I can hear him. Now we're Alright. Alright, let's get it. What's your ping at now? Is it still high or are you good? Oh, okay, we're good then. Yeah. Oh, I almost fell off the fucking up. Yeah. Last 1 point dead. Flip. Shooting me from their side. I think he is. Watch behind us. Yeah, he did. Top broken. I got nothing backside still, so we should be good. Oh no, one back here. No, yeah. Yeah, two back here now. Go. Yeah, you got one in the back. Just trying to fight that guy for my life. Half health. Oh, you're good. You're fine. Oh, I thought you meant me. I was like, oh, you can kill me. We're good. I'm gonna push up there, Joe. You have one dojo, Dad? They should all spawn on your side. Point that. Fuck, one more. He's mid cut. 110. Actually, all of them are on old. All of them are on old. I would just say new if you do. Yeah, they're back here on me. Yeah, that's crazy. Last guy in the back somewhere. Good shit. Server. One server pushing you. This guy, trade me. There you go. Good shit, Cray. Good shit, Cray. One new. I was trying to put that shit down. Yo, what's up, Anthony? Thank you for the likes, dude. Appreciate you. Appreciate that. And follow. Damn, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Appreciate the love. You got one top window on the right side. This guy's in the back somewhere. Top window. Top window right side on point. He's our side point. Dad, one more. Fuck. I won my one, I just can't get two. I'm back here. He's half health. 3. Last one backside. Dead. I got him. They should all be flooding you. Yeah, they should all be flooding you. I'm here to help you. One more. He's on that right window. In front. Yeah, good shit. Shit, I'm gonna start pushing you. You got 2 on new. One dojo, one our side. He's just in our side. Like. Ten their side. Good shit. Fuck, I was reloading. I should have reloaded. They're all den or dojo. Make cut. Shoulders, one more make cut. One more. Got him. Make cut. Dead. Now. Yep, I'm gonna go new. We should spawn here. I thought we did too, yeah. Just wanted to make sure. Outer, one fucking bullet. The fuck? You spawn here with me? Yeah, okay. Left corner. One server. Wait for you guys. Never mind, you just got Charles me outer. That's crazy. One's looking new. Yeah, that was him. That was him. Fuck. One more. Couches. Fuck. And one time I turn around, couches is there. I spawned out. They're all couch. Our side. Our side. Fuck. Good shit, eh? Fuck. Fuck. Okay, he should have flipped us out since he fucking pushed us halfway through. And he doesn't. That's insane. I don't understand that. You like push up hard, like server stuff. Mid. Oh, couches. Trade. One more in the back. They're in the back. Yeah, I still spun out. You should have one more somewhere back there. Front side? Nope. Yeah, I don't think we got that guy deep yet. Got a fucking bullet. Good shit. Start going new. I got one. They can have like 10 seconds off that. That's theirs. P1, dude. I just spawned in, this guy just rips me. That's crazy. Okay, I spawned him. Yeah, I spawned in his sight. I'm like, come on. We're sliding in each other. Yeah, we just lined up. Let's not try to slide. Yeah. Yeah. I was not trying to do that. Should be here new. Put a trophy down back here so that if they try killing me. Hey, stairs. There you go. Dead. Got nothing server. You reach house out, that's crazy. I'm jumping off the fucking map, I swear to God. I couldn't do it. I couldn't buy a fucking kill half the time, and I'm like just holding the spawn. It's fine though. Damn. It's all good. Anthony, if you're still here, I appreciate the follow, bro. Appreciate the follow. Thanks for that. Yeah, I did too. It's fine. It's fine. We're good. Aim, you still here, bro? Okay. What? Damn. Damn. It's all good. Hey, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We only lost by 3, which is crazy, considering how bad we were down at one point. That Essence guy just fucking ripped me every time. He's the motherfucker that killed me like multiple times. I'm like, god damn. Oh, there we go. I can get my revenge now. We're good. It's fine. It's okay, we'll probably end up getting Scar anyway, it's fine. It's usually how it works. It's usually how it works. Kim, what are we doing today? How are we doing? What are we doing? How are we doing? We usually play with my buddy Ian Flank. But he's not on. Yeah, checks out. That checks out. Is that who do we play with yesterday? Silo and Rip. That's who it was. I think it was too. I mean, hey, if he wants to boost mine, the fucking... I told my buddy who's top 250, I was like, hey man, if you just want to get me to like diamond, that's fine. Just I was like, if you want to get it to Crim too, that'd be great. And he's like, I got you. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. Oh, get that fucking kill! Yeah! Fuck that guy. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I get tired of the game sometimes, and I'm like, I'm just gonna play Arc Raiders. 18. Oh, I'm gonna sit top green. Top fucking green. As soon as I go up there, I get fried. I get one kill top green, and then this guy spawns on me. Typical COD. One more. There's one more over there. Fucking bitch. Last one over here somewhere. I can't push him. I can't push him. I need to change my name to dog shit. That's what I needed. That's a fucking bullet. He's gonna score that. No. Oh no, yeah, I need to kill him. Fuck. I'm tweaking. I'm fucking like tweaking out. Trying. We trying out here. Fuck. Bottom red. Yeah, I was trying to hop up. I was trying to hop up on that motherfucker. 18. R18. Behind you, Aim. Behind you. Good shit. That's... Oh! Yeah, take that A. No, they're playing. What a defensive game. What an absolute fucking slinger. Defensive game here. But goddamn. No, my phone's gonna die. What the fuck? That's. I just realized that. I was like, fuck, my phone's just dead. Bottom red. He's growing our spawn. Fuck. Okay. Yeah. I wonder if I can spawn now. Got him. They're gonna get it. Yeah. You'd think this is the easy side. We just can't get a fucking break. Yeah, you beat me in 3-4 shots. That's crazy. One more. The last guy was, but... Oh. Good move. Good move. Mid cut. He's in market. That's not good. Oh, never mind. Oh. Someone lined up. I was shooting. I was like, oh, I need to stop shooting right now. Top red dead. I was getting shot from red. I don't know where this guy was. Oh, market. To market. That's where they went. I went back market. Stun 2. Two on the heady. I got one. Two. Last one on the plane heady. Good fucking rip. Grab that and go. Grab that shit and run. No, I got 2 out of the 3. Fuck. Fuck, I had him. Yeah, you're not gonna give me the kill. That's crazy. Oh, he's one bullet in their fucking spawn. Are you dead ass? Stupid. He's top red. Fuck. Oh, you might get that. No. Fuck. Fuck. It's fine. It's fine. We're just not Overload. We just can't play Overload. Suck. Surviving. I honestly don't know what to play these days. Honestly, I feel that. I feel that completely. I feel that fucking completely. After not being able to play anything for like 2 weeks, it was nice. And then I'm like, let's see if I can put this back up. It was like, damn. Do I play it ranked? Do I play this? But I like playing ranked. It's fun. I just keep getting shafted back and forth between Plat 2, Plat 1, and then just... Once we get to Plat 2, it's like... Alrighty. Got one more. Brady. That's all good. We'll be here. We'll slam. Yeah, I might do the same. This game actually is like, I get to Plat 2 and then I go on like a hard fucking losing streak and it's so annoying. Like the game just is like, nah, not allowed. Stupid. Well, if solo gets on later and you guys need one, you let me know. There's Silo. Isn't it Silo? Solo? Yeah. Oh, shit, alright. Yeah. See, I don't know anyone in the Discord. God damn. That's crazy. Damn. I don't even know who's in my Discord. I have like, I think I have 100 and let's look. $119. We got 119 people. Hell yeah. Nice. Nice, nice. I was in the last team I was on. They really sucked and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Like we would scrim each other. So we had like about like 20 people and we would just scrim each other and then only half of us would show up. So then we would eventually only have 4 people play. And then we can't run that, so then we just run scripts window. So then we just run ranked and that's it. And that was our team. I'm like, this is not fun. So that left. Okay, you got 3 on. I don't think anyone's rapping. The last one on. Yeah. This guy is a bullet on P2. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, what gun is that? Like camo? Is that like a camo? Yours, I think. Oh, there's one on. Yeah. Is it a camo? Yeah, it's a camo. What the fuck is that? Aim, dude. Just stay there. You're fucking ripping them, bro. I'm helping point. Two front. Damn, dude. You were just fucking ripping them. Yeah. My bad, Lukey. One shot on there. Fuck. Already up already, huh? One shot. Hold on. Let me hop up here. There we go. Heh. Yeah, he's fucking dead. Dumb fuck. Yeah, that's square. I can't fucking... I had to run around. I played my life pretty well. You guys spawn here, so that's good. Did something. There's fucking... I'm whiffing every shot. That's crazy. Cousin, yo, what's up, Lisa? What's up, little Lisa? Let's go. How we doing? How we doing? He's calling me jump up. There's no one jump up. Yeah, good shit. Good shit. Fuck him. No, you're good, dude. No, hey, we did that perfect. I did that on purpose. You good? My best, that's how I'm doing. How are you doing? I'm doing my best, too. They're in the back. Fuck. At least you're ending live? No, I'm not ending live yet. We're good. We're good for a while. I just blacked out and went old. That was my bad. Good, feeling better? I guess, so far. Fuck! Fuck! I'm just trying to play my life in the back, and those fucking just rip. Good shit! Good clear, Ames. Good clear. Here's a trophy for you. Yeah, we might need that. Heard. I got one. I can't get the other. Square. Half health. The G to half health. Got him. Fuck, I'm throwing a nade. That's my bad. Fuck, I got 3 on. Stop lifting things and you'll feel even more better. Yeah, you're right. You're right. No, I'm not playing WWE, bro. Not today. I'm running ranked. Fuck me. He's still in the front. I know I am. I miss you. I miss you too. I miss you too. How's everything going in your new apartment? Fuck. Got 1 on. 2 on maybe. I lose that is crazy. There's 2-1. I just can't fucking buy one guy. Last one on. One more. Fuck, display new. Display new. That is so fucking annoying. I can't get one fucking kill. Rip that guy backside. Good fucking break. What a waste of a hellstorm. Window. Guys, still window, one front side. I don't know where he went from. Maybe he's back new. Oh yeah, he is. He's new. Window and new. Window and new. Oh, it wasn't your skin. It was studio skin. I was gonna say you got one in the back. I got your trade right here. I got your. No! Fuck me. I lose that. It's still in the back. I spawned out. They're gonna be here in front. Yeah, I'm gonna die to that. That's inside a fucking thing and I die. Rip. Is he chasing me? I don't know where that guy went. I got it. We still got this. We can just, if we break this, we're good. We're in it. I got one worried about me. Never mind. Fuck! That's one. Front. Oh no, one in the back still. Fuck. Fuck. I win my one and I get fried in the back. That's insane. I'm gonna watch windows. Got him. Last one on me. One shot, good shit. I played it on my phone yet. I don't know what you're talking about. One shot window, there you go. One windows. They don't win off that. I'm gonna try pushing from behind. There you go. One's here with me. Fuck, dude. I got shot in the back and the front. That's... He's right side. Got him. Alright. Lock it down. I got 2 out here on me. I can't get a fucking kill. You got 1 pushing your front. P1. Got him. 1 more pushing your front. Shit. No. Stay here. We win off this. There you go. Whew! I thought you blacked out. You said, I'm wrapping it up. Like, no, we went off this. We good. We good. We're good. Don't fucking row. I was like, please, for the love of God, do not spawn us out, because we only need 3 seconds. Good. Oh my fuck. Oh my fuck. I have not played WWE on my phone yet. I've not played WWE on my phone yet. Britt, welcome in. Welcome in. Hopefully you just watched that. That shit was crazy. Oh man. I was like, when Studio goes, I'm gonna row, I'm like, please, for the love of God, do not go anywhere across mid. There's like 15 seconds. I'm like, they need 3. They need 3 fucking seconds. Alright, buddy. I appreciate it. Hey, I'll be on later today, so if you're on, I'll be here. Either. You want to keep running? You want more people? Okay. We'll run it. You want more people? Let's see who I can get. I think Britt. She came in, but I think she's in a party. Yeah, she's got 3. I don't want to get a diamond. I said I don't want to get a diamond in here to fuck with us. Let's see. Oh no, we're good. No, I can play with that. I can play with diamonds. It's just whenever their hosts are near or like close to like Crim, it's like they just throw in whatever. It's like, fuck. I invited. I was like, oh, we're fucked. I don't know if sticks. It's like, yep, here we are. I'll invite Sticks. Let's see if any of these guys join. Actually, I'll message Sticks and see if he's in the game. I don't know if he's going to. Lukey, have you played WWE on your phone? I didn't know that was a thing. I know I have it on Xbox, obviously, but I haven't played on my phone. I could get AQ. I was trying to see who all I can get, but I don't know if... Definitely not inviting this guy. Yes! Let's go, Sands. What's up, buddy? You want to run some? Hell yeah. I know Pierce isn't on, but we can run a few. Here, we'll start ours because I think the other guy asked is not... He's in a game, so we'll just run it. I wonder who... How much SR did I get? I only got 19 for that? That's ridiculous. This game fucking hates me. In the past 10 matches, I've only won 1, 2. Oh, I'm 5-5. Okay, I'm 5-5 in the last 10 matches. That makes sense. Rip. My KD is better this season than last season. Yep. Mob key. It's all good. We're fine. We good. Yeah, I played Big Mama. Played Big Mama. Not played Mob King. Mob Key. I've never played Say 9. I don't even know what the other person's name is, so we're just gonna ignore that one. Weird, yeah, weird name. Chapo, you gotta lead us, bro. You're goal 3. You gotta carry us to. Yeah, you gotta carry. You gotta show us what you got. Really? Damn. Alright, well now he has to carry. We played with him, or someone has played with him, he has to carry. That we don't make the rules here. Same. Does he crack like me, or is he crack like you? Okay. Alright, we'll lock in. We'll lock in. Oh, psh. Yeah, fuck Mob Key. Hey, as long as I don't get fucking stream sniped, I think I'll be alright. Watch the raps. Yeah, they're rapping. Someone grab that. Go, go, go. There's only one in the front? That's insane. Weird name just absolutely ripped me. Got him off. Inner spawn. There we go. Weird name. Yeah, there's a guy gonna be on a wrap. I'm gonna get him. Never mind, there's 2 in the back. The fuck? Dude, I'm just getting absolutely torched. You weren't kidding. Okay, that's crazy. I should have knifed. Alright, I leave you to see you, bud. See you, bud. See you, Lukey. I appreciate you tuning in, though. Sorry I'm, like, locked in. I shouldn't be this locked in. Fuck, 2 people on. Topper. Yeah, I'm gonna get ripped like that. That's crazy. Get the fuck out of here. I just spawned in and get absolutely destroyed by 2. You should be able to get that. One's in our spawn. That was a lucky fucking throw. I'll give myself credit there. Fuck, on me, on me, on me. Good shit. Last one, C9. Looks like they're gonna make cut. Nope, going B. No, I'm gonna lose this. I'm gonna fucking lose it. There's one on them. Not gonna get spawn killed there, bitch. Yeah, it's... I don't understand. Yeah. That's the same, honestly. I'm just getting fucking back shots. Shit, am I trash? Am I fucking like, am I like... like, Christ. Yeah, it's...
All units, mission area designated a Sakamatsu.
Hey, goddamn lizard. Fuck.
Overload device is under hostile control.
Oh my god. There's 3 people on me. And I'm just trying to shoot one guy. I just killed you, Sans. That was my bad. You lined up. You I was about to rip that guy and I just shot you. I'm like, yep. I'm fucked here. Nope. I psyched them. We're going A. But I'm switching to an AR. I feel like I'm shooting fucking marshmallows the whole time. Yeah, I'll lose that. That's crazy. Fucking... There's a fucking bullet. Got him. One more backside. no sense, no.
Put your head down and get it done.
I went there before. Can I copy that build? I'm just gonna copy the no. There we go. Can't buy a fucking kill. Can't buy a fucking kill to save my ass. Like, marshmallows? Am I shooting them? Do I got marshmallow guns? Like, pew, 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 little pow pows. Like, holy fuck. It is not fun.
Enemies are carrying the EMP.
Yeah, I'm not winning that. That's 4. That's 4. 4 fucking people chasing me down. Unfucking real.
Cut your wires, go to ground.
What? Yeah, we do need one, yeah. I got you. Ugh. What the actual fuck? Couldn't buy a fucking kill to save my ass. And I'm minus 30. Yeah, I'm hard stuck now. That's crazy. Crazy. Oh, never mind. He's already there. I'm gonna try this build that I just stole off that person. Dude, I love demolition. I love demolition. I'll be right back. We're gonna rip some heads. We're gonna rip some heads. Try to, at least. I mean, Christ. I played La Bamba. Lamba Mamba. It's okay. I played better people. I think I... Sake. Yeah, fuck that up. Yeah. Sucky. I want more reps on both those in Gridlock, honestly. I don't know if they're gonna be permanent, but I'll go point. Wait, are you running Mob, are you running AR? Okay. Okay, I wasn't sure. I didn't see. Oh. I was reloading. I shouldn't have reloaded. That's good. Good stuff. I'll help him. One backside. Yep, you got him. One more in the back. We're still spawning here though. I'm gonna see if I can get this guy. Yeah, I got one. I don't know if the other guy's back here or not. Yeah, he is. Dumbass. One more in the back. He's in the back. Good shit, Sands. Good read. Yeah, I think they patched it. Side. Or you got that guy's side. One mage statue, one P1. Fuck. Two in the front, one P1. Yeah, we spawn out. Someone might be in the back somewhere. Side, good shit. I got you. They might flood our right here, Sands. Yeah. Got one. One underneath. That was him. Good shit, that's three. I spawned back, they're gonna be blue still? Unless you're back there, they should be blue. Yeah, they're blue. One wrap. I'm gonna push up. Well, no, one's still back here, yellow. Oh, that guy's sitting. He's stair glitching it? That's crazy. Lumba's not good. Statue, dude. Oh! I didn't read that guy. Yeah, I didn't read that guy. He was right next to me. Yeah, you should spawn there now. Front. Good shit, good trade. Watch your side. Watch your side door. What a waste of a hellstorm. Are we serious? Yeah, but for 10 seconds it's a little it's like for 10 seconds is a little It takes him 10 seconds to call it in. Behind you. My key on the stairs. I was lost for a second. I almost naded us because I had no idea where you guys were spawning. Yeah, someone's still back there. What are you trying to do there? Front statue dead. One more statue. One more front side. I got a shred. No, it's front. Still spawn here, so we're good. That guy's a bullet. I'm gonna push out. Oh my god, he's a bullet. The fuck? I lose that? That's crazy. Good fucking help. Good fucking help. They're all blue or yellow. I'll watch the split just in case. Yeah. Outer. I stunned. I fucking naded you. Damn it. 2-1. One more mid. He's mid. You said one's here? There you go. Pushing up into the P1. Has a bullet. Oh my god, I ran out of fucking ammo. I had that last guy. He was one shot front. That's crazy. Side door. Yeah, that's... Dude, I fucking naded Pierce. I did. That shit was nowhere near him. Bang! Bang! Get him, Sands. Get his ass. Bang! GG's. Bang, bang. Honestly, I feel like that was better than the freaking overload that we just played. What better than the overload? We're catching it. Yeah, we just need that one guy. That one boy. Yo, fuck Troppo. We told him he needed to lock in and carry, and he did nothing. So there was just some random that we picked up. Yeah. Yeah, he was ass. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah. Yeah, he was not good at all. Brady! I see you, Sticks. Don't think I don't see you in here. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to... Sticks, I got you. I got you. As soon as someone leaves, I got you. Oh, I think they need to fix everything. Yeah, whenever I was goal 3, I started getting like 85, 90. And then they put me in the plat, and then I kept winning. And then I got the plat 2, and then it's like, hey, you know what, 20. And then I lose, and then it's like, hey, you know what, here's 5. Here's 2. Because this game hates me. This game hates me. Alexa. Put me in, coach is crazy. Hello, hello, Alexa. Hello. How are you? How are you? Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Good. I'm good too. Good. Just running ranked, you know. Being a sweaty nerd. You know how it is. You know how it be. Just being a nerd, playing COD. Yeah, I played Ark first time yesterday in a long time. I streamed it, and there was a vaporizer. Have no idea what that was. There's just so much new shit that I didn't know, and I'm like, what is going on here? Shit's crazy. Shit is crazy. I got him. If you guys don't know the map, I can tell you. I can tell you what the rotations are and shit. Or I'll go new every time. I can do that too. Yeah, welcome back to Impossible Ark Play. Seriously though, shit is insane. Ah, he's top stairs case. Fuck. Now the next 3 and 4, we're gonna have to. Oh, this guy's right here. Knifing me on point. Yeah, that's fine. You're good. Yeah, you just get those kills. We're good. If you get the kills, we can rotate. I can rotate. It's gonna be staircase. Out front. Yeah, Impossible Ark Raiders is like fucking accurate as shit. I'll tell you that. I got absolutely cooked yesterday. Are we serious? Got 2 front. Fuck, alright. 3 is the top of the map. And it's in that little, like, hut. Like, little hut thing. Yo, where the fuck did I just get shot from? Oh, in front of me. Ooh, fuck. He's in there on the right, I think. Shit mob key. One's just laying on the banana boxes. That's insane. I say we stay here. Stay here. Oh, he's top of that fucking ledge. The fuck? I didn't know you could get up there. I didn't. I did not see that. I knifed him. Sorry, I was trying to get him. He like flew at me. I'm like, fuck. Okay, you got that? Shit. Yeah. It's definitely something. This map sucks. Oh, he's right there in front of you. Good shit. Yeah. Ah! Get him. Knife that motherfucker. That point is just all knifing, honestly. I swear. That's theirs. Theirs. Let's wait for you guys. Oh, they're just all watching that. One's on a car. And on the fucking back side of the car. Woo! Got ripped. Get that guy at the top of the stairs. I don't know who's here, but got him. Oh no, I got packet loss. This guy's in. Fuck. Fuck. Fuck, there's still one. Behind me, P4. I'm knifing. I'm knifing. I'm trying to switch and I'm like, nope, can't. Oh, dude, you're fine. This map fucking sucks. You're pre-firing that? That's crazy. I just don't know how he knew we were back here. That's all I want to know. I'm going new. Can I put the fucking trophy down? Jesus. One here with me. Got him. You should spawn here. I'm just laying right here on point. What's gonna be on our left? He's deep left side. Want more viewers? Get fucked, old horse. Get out of here. Banned. See ya. Fuck. I tried. There's. I got 1 out of 3 of those people. Got him. No, he got me off point. Fuck. I was ripping that kid. One backside, backside. Fuck, they're gonna knife on it. They're just gonna knife the point. Yeah. Same. It's fucking atrocious. Nice. Got one. Yeah. Good fucking shit. Got him. Woo! Fucking broke that shit. Watch backside. So bullet backside. Just need 20 seconds. Yeah. I'm new. You guys want... Never mind. This guy reads on there? That's crazy. Sitting in one fucking corner. This is the point right here. The win. Behind. What? That is insane. We just need 10. He's 1 on point. Wow, 8. Yeah, P2 side. P2 side. That's it. Okay, that's good. We should win off this. Top stairs. I'm gonna flood it. There you go. Good shit. Good fucking shit. It's okay. So did I. I just held point. That's all I could do. You guys were gunning, so I was like, I'll just sit on point. Sticks, I don't know if you're watching this shit, but that's the shit we need to start doing. If people are gunning, they need to fucking go out and gun. Whoever's not shooting needs to stay on point. That's what I'm saying. These guys are gunning. That's a shit we need. Yeti, I see you in here. I see you, dog. How are you doing? Yeah, honestly. I don't think I got that much, honestly. I think I probably got like nothing. I know I got 23 for Colossus. That's not going to show me. That's fine. I definitely didn't do anything. I went even and I got time while you guys ripped everyone's head off. That's your what, second time playing on that map? Second? Yeah. It's not... 3 and 4 suck. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's really no like 3 and 4 are like the money hills. If no. Oh yeah, that one's yeah. I need more reps on that one. I'm vetoing raid. Fuck raid. Yo, Bounce Man. What's good, dude? What up, dude? What up? How? Hi, Sleepy. Let's go. All right, dude. Good luck. Yeah, let's go. Let's get Mixie. Come on. Yes, let's go. Yes. I bounce. You are the only one that's allowed shooting my body, but only if I could shoot yours. Because we're friends. We're friends. Ah, come on. Come on. That's all right. We're good. Good luck though. Good luck, Bounce. Yeah, fuck his teammates. Fuck Chaos, Plymouth. I don't even know those guys. Morrow. I don't know them. I only know Bounce. Bounce is cool. Yeah, no, Bounce is pretty chill. I like Bounce. He's funny. Well, no, it's not. Do you want to bomb? Do you want to rush at A? And just give him right off. Yeah, we can just run it right at him. And give it a shot. Okay. Well, we're not going to go 0-6, I'll tell you that. Bomb down. I gotta reload my drive. I'm like right here. Just watch me cut. Mid. Got him. I had to slide out. Bounce, I thought you had me, dude. I honestly did. I was like stressing. I was fucking stressing. I'm like, Bounce is ripping me. I'm like, I'm fucked. I love whenever I get to play friends, like actual friends. It's fun. He's yeah, Mom. Yeah, literally, it's you and Mom. Ah, come on. That's fair, honestly. One's B, 2B. Oh, okay, well, they playing A. That's crazy. I don't know why this guy's beating. Oh, he's in their spawn. That's crazy. I should have chased. One's gonna be mid-cut. Watch mid. Oh, you had it. You had that shit. You You had... Yeah, that was... I honestly thought that guy, Morrow, was coming out mid-cut because he killed me and he was just gonna run. Alright, bounce. That's crazy. That's... Bounce, you're just the team, dude. You're just the whole team. I believe in you. That's fine. No, did he actually, or is it the other guy? It don't matter, honestly. Oh, okay. I went mid-cut. I'm gonna go B. They're gonna probably all be A. Oh, he's in the corner. What the fuck? I should have checked it. I should have checked that corner. You're good. You got Plymouth and Chaos.
Running out of daylight. Close it down, Black Ops.
Plymouth is gonna be on your right. Chaos might be their side. Damn.
We got the ball.
Damn. Damn. Yo, Bounce, you gotta tell Plymouth to stop hiding in the corner. That's crazy.
Solid loss.
Nothing. Damn, that's crazy. I'm all good for losing gunfights. I'm gonna be upset if I'm gonna lose one in a corner. That's crazy. This man's sitting in a fucking corner, scared to death. Alright, I'm gonna go A. Just fucking bomb it.
Defend the objective.
And nothing A. Push behind him.
Time check, Black Ops. Predator.
No, bounce! Fuck! Bounces a bullet. Oh, and then Plymouth is in the corner. Yo.
Clean it up.
Yeah, fuck you, Plymouth. Bounce, you had me, dude. You fucking had me, ass. I was like, fuck. You did. It was. It really was. Tell Plymouth his ass is mine. Yeah, we're gonna fucking destroy Plymouth. Yeah, I think we go B. We'll give it a shot.
Safety's off. We're not here to make friends. The bomb acquired.
Oh, I'm getting shot in the back. They fucking double team me. That's crazy. Plymouth just baited me and I fucking died to this fucking chaos guy in the back.
Get yourself together.
Were you A? Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't see you at all. At all. You. Yeah, that's it. Hey, you know what? That's fine. That's it. Alright, we gotta fucking slam them. I don't know what we gotta do here, but. Because I don't know which way they're gonna go.
Eyes up. System's hot. We're not here for a tour.
It is. Got stunned A. One on A. Got bounce. He's laying down. He's laying down on you, Mop. Good shit. Yeah. Yeah, fucking shoot that guy's body. Fuck you, Plymouth. Oh.
Fine. Get ready for the next one.
Bounce, I was not anticipating to kill you there. I honestly thought I was killing someone else. I just naded. Yeah, it did. It told me exactly. Dude, that guy's they're selling him. That's on that. That's funny as hell. Appreciate the follow, thank you. Alright.
The guild is hiding something. Let's take that shit out. We got the bomb.
fuck. Shit. We got the two annoying fucks out of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and plant this. He might wrap behind us. Yeah, good read.
Bomb plant in progress. Get serious, Black Ops. MTC is scraping bottom.
As soon as we got rid of Plymouth and Chaos, I'm like, yep, we got the two annoying fucks out of the way. We're good. We're... Yeah. Bounce, you're just like in your own world there. Alright. Oh yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna 6-5 them. We got it. We got it.
Protect the objective.
Did you break glass mid B?
The enemy's planted the bomb.
Yeah.
Hostile remaining.
Where's Plymouth's body? See the first guy you killed? Fuck, I was trying to get over there to shoot his body. I was trying to get over there to shoot Plymouth's body with you. I couldn't make it. I'm like, where's Plymouth? I want his body. They don't do anything. They're not helping you at all, dude. Yeah, that's it. Let's go, eh?
Destroy the objective. Bomb acquired.
Push back, Shane. Sec. That's good. There you go, mid. Oh, you got him. Okay, I'm gonna play it.
Planting the bomb.
They're all in there. They are all inside the mid cut. It's crazy.
Pushing. That's 3 in a row.
Oh my. No! No, do not put Plymouth in a corner. do not put him in the corner. If he's in the corner, I'm spraying.
Defend the
Okay.
objective. Enemy device is set.
Oh. Where you make cut? Ah! This guy is in the spawn B. What are you doing?
Waste of time.
Morrow did. Morrow was in the back spawn. What are we doing? Yeah, Plemmy was. You had one Morrow or whatever deep your spawn B side and just fucking took me out. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Yeah, that's insane. That is a fucking insane read. Who does that? Who sits in the spawn? Fuck. I'm gonna message him. Bounce, I can't. I'm in a full lobby. I'll message him. I'll have to message him out. Okay. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. We should be. Damn. 7 days. Making that flow. Walk. You want to talk shit? Shut up. Fix your fucking mic. Get a better mic, ass. This fucking guy. Weird planting offense. All right. Hey, I'll trust. That's fine. I trust.
Search and destroy. Stay sharp. The guild's up to something.
Oh, he's on me, but good shit. See what happens when you have a Dollar Tree mic? Leave, y'all, bro. No, bro, that is funny as hell. Yeah, it honestly sounds like his TV's at fucking 90, and he's just talking through it. Oh, I just made the fucking container by accident. He pushed up. Oh, that wasn't him. Top ring. Mid, dead. Oh my god, you're terrible, bro! Fix your mic and your fucking dog shit. That's crazy. I'm gonna push. I'm pushing him. Yo, Walk! Fix your mic and your game. Holy fuck, you're terrible. I ripped you with a sub across the map. Get fucking good. Honestly. I just ripped him across the map with a fucking sub. Like, I should not. Yeah, you're fine. Honestly, we're just frying them.
We got the bomb.
Oh my. I can't. I had to reload. I'm gonna plant it. He's on me. He's above.
Bomb going down.
Hmm.
Get serious, Black Ops. MTC is scraping bottom. Bomb active.
Oh, we're not good? We're not good. I ripped you off a heady with a sub. You're fucking dog. You're fucking dog water, bro. I'm not good, but I ripped his fucking skull off a fucking heady. Yeah, just say that. Just fucking say that.
Search and destroy.
Yeah, he's mad. He has 1 kill. He's the only guy that has a kill in his team. That's great.
Defend the objective.
I had nothing top ring. Oh, ours A bomb. Fuck. Should have looked A bomb. I didn't.
The enemy's planted the bomb. Enemy left. Handle it.
Probably Zig. Yep. Good win. Good shit. Good fucking shit.
We're deactivating the bomb. Bomb defused. You're on a roll.
We're not good, just like your mic. We got the whole team. We got the whole team doing better than you, bro. Got the whole team doing better than you. Yeah, if you're better, get better. That's probably my.
Search and destroy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's insane.
Eliminate the objective.
I think my toxic trait is if they come at my teammates, I just go at them harder because like I just talk the shit. One shot, betrayed. Good fucking trade. I should have won that gun though. I should have won the gunfight, but you know, here we are. I got you mid reload. Yeah, isn't that what we're supposed to do? Isn't it? Isn't it a team?
On my watch, get yourself together.
Isn't it a team effort? That's crazy. Toxic Trade is playing COD. You're right. You're right, John. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? My Toxic Trade is playing COD. You're absolutely fucking right. Absolutely right. Isn't that the point of the game?
All units, mission area designated a suck 'em up zone.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap behind him. They're all on B.
Black Ops credits.
I sniped that guy from across the fucking map. Oh yeah, you're a fucking bitch. Yeah, he's fucking sitting in that fucking corner, make cut. Man is terrified. Man is absolutely fucking terrified to sit in the corner. You are fucking terrified. You're absolutely terrified. So how did you kill me? Is that where you sit in the corner? Because that's what you did. That's what you did. That's what you did. That's crazy. I remember class in MW2 that we probably couldn't play anymore with this type of gameplay. Used to call it runner bitch. I think you know what I'm referring to. I do. I think I do, John. I think I do know exactly what you're talking about. The class. I'm not gonna win that. I couldn't fucking move! Booty milk is crazy. Yes, I believe ump was the weapon in that. Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was the ump. I think it was the ump and then the models. I think it was models, or else it was the rangers that people used. Because then you could just dual wheel it. I'm pretty sure.
Protect the objective.
Oof, one long. Still long. One P1 their side. Dude, I'm just getting fucking naded. P1. I'm just getting absolutely fucking shafted. Absolutely shafted. I don't know who had bomb. Oh, this guy's probably did. There you go. There you go. There's your answer. Bomb and dirt. I was gonna say, just play time. He doesn't have enough time to plant. Yeah, we got 2 rounds. I also thought he was gonna come up that way, and I was like, it's fine. It's hard to read. You're in a corner there. Where do you want to go with it? A or B? I had nothing hop up. Oh, dumbass. Oh, he's one fucking bullet. I nade across. Good shit. Good fucking shit. Oh, big love, bro. That's all he sounds like. That's what he sounds like. Complaining. He's like, ah, blah, blah, blah. And just like, you can't do anything. All right, just watch a corner, cause he might sit in it. That's all he does. All right, I'll go mid with you. I don't know where this fucking guy is. One was there spawn, but I don't know where he went. Unless you got him. I don't have a stun or a nade either. I'm gonna shoulder A. What? Did I, what?
Enemy set the bomb.
How's he not down? Can I hop up? I'm not gonna have enough time. No, I can't hop up.
Fine. Get ready for the next one.
Ah! Can't hop up on a fucking hop up. I had this motherfucker too. I fucking had that motherfucker. That is so annoying. If I had to hop up, I could have hopped up, back down, got him, wrapped behind him. Fuck.
Protect the objective.
There you go. There you go. Now you're talking. Get him. Our side. Fucking A-bomb. You're a fucking bitch. Fucking Wonk. Wonk is not fucking good. And I lose to him. And I rip his fucking head off. And I can't get the chow. I just can't win that. Fuck. Fuck. Damn it. Oh my God. So mad. I'm so mad. We should have had that. We should have had that. Should have had it. Should have had it, and I didn't. That was fun. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Fuck, dude. It's so annoying. Yeah, that's what you should have told him in chat. Just be like, yo, go to jail. Fucking bitch. That was funny as hell. Funny as hell. Funny as hell. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab. I don't have a drink. Okay, I'm gonna go grab a drink. I shall be back. Shall be back. We need to take a breather. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We got the goods. We we got the goods. MW2 and Black Ops 2 were the top tier of COD. Everything after those are just meh. Valid. I like World at War personally. World at War was my match. Was my fucking COD. I love World at War. I'm back. I just got back. I was getting a drink. Okay. Yep. Almost kicked you. I was not trying to do that. I was like, oh shit. What's up, Silo? Let's go. I don't know why it wasn't. Oh, you know what? It's because you're on PC, that's why. I have that off. It's fine. I can turn it on. That was my fault. That's a me issue. That's a me. It yeah, that's my fault. That's yeah, that was my bad. I almost get shot, man, sometimes. I've got trap banned twice now. Yeah. The sad part is I got trap banned twice, so if I get one more, I cannot talk in game. So I've now just not talked ever in chat. I don't even know what I went last. I led the team 10-7 with 2 plants. Walk. What a fucking bum. That was last. Last match, it's fine. We're good. We're locked in. John. We're locked in. Sticks, Yeti, Kim. We're locked in. Locked in. We are doing the damn thing. Oh shit, I'm at 194 followers on Kick. That's crazy. Damn. That's fun. I'll hop on the point with you and then just run around. Hey, honestly, that's fine. Honestly, I'll just live in market. How's that? Does that sound better? Okay, I don't live in market. That guy beats me there. That's crazy. One on. One shot. Fucking market. Market dead. One more market. Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been asking myself the same question. One more. Mob in front of you. Ah, Skybreed just fucking flew on me. One more on me. In the back, Jenny. We're just gonna... Top red still. Bottom corner dead. Ah, ma. It's all good, dude. It's fine. That's payback from that's payback from earlier. Whatever I needed. I think it was you or someone. Make hot on me. Half health. Make cut. I think he dead. Got him. I got him. One more. P1. P1 is great. Front dead. Plain a fucking bullet. Fucking white wall. Red going underneath front. Good shit, Ames. One more. There we go. There we go. We're getting it. Too red. About to lose my shit first game. I'm gonna push new. Front fucking corner. They lined up. Top green. Two make cut new. One shot. Top green dead. Oh my. Woo. Top green. Top. Oh my. I just can't move. I can't move. I can't move. Top green still. I'm already on P2. I'm already on P2. I'm already here. It's already T2. Fuck, in the back. Underneath, Jenny. Jenny. There you go. All blue. Last one on me. Last one on me. They're all new. Daisy's pushing. On the fucking wall. Make hot. P1. Dead. Top. Stairs. Dead. Two front. One might be pushing window. Fuck. I should have jumped. These backside, underrated backside. Where the fuck does this guy go? Oh my god, he's in front of me. One on here. Make cut. There you go. Nice. Cut that. Still nothing top green. Good. One more on me. There we go. Mid. I have a hellstorm. White wall. Yeah, I was just contesting those area there. Jenny and wall. I'm gonna call this hellstorm, man. It's in a spawn room. That's ours. It's ours. I don't know how I killed you. That's 4. They're all gonna be blue. Front, 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 dead. Green, 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 green. I spawned blue, they're all green. Yeah. There you go. We all dropped 40. That's crazy. 63 and 31 is crazy, and I beat them. That's crazy. Honestly, I didn't even know they were that like good. I mean, they are pretty good, but apparently I'm better. That's crazy. That is crazy. Saying that his team sucks is crazy. All they... Fucking 19. I locked it in. Yeah, I got 19 off of that. Yeah, you're gonna have to do a fuck ton of stuff if you're gonna have to do all that. Which game is this, bro? This is Black Ops 7. I'm the only one here? Yeah, right now. Right now you are. I gotta ban this guy on Kick. I don't know what he's saying. He says, my stream is way better. Check it out. And then drop the link is crazy on Kick. That's insane. Damn, that's insane. This is Black Ops 7 there. I was locked in, so I'm sorry if I didn't respond right away. Apologize for that. We were kicking ass and bringing it back. And we're bringing it back. Bringing it back. Honestly, I did not expect to drop 4. All of us dropped 40. Yeah, all of us dropped 40. Family dropped 41. You dropped 42. I dropped 41. Ames dropped 40. Their worst player went 30 and 35 with 35 time. Crazy. People still play this game? I thought COD was kind of dead. In your opinion, which games are still alive? In my opinion, what games are still alive? So Arc Raiders is definitely alive. Arc Raiders definitely. I heard Marathon's good. A lot of people have asked me to play Marathon. Obviously, Black Ops. I think that's about it. Most of the sports games are there for now. Like baseball just got released, so that's been a thing that people have been playing a lot of that I've seen. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's all kind of what you want to play. I love Arc Raiders, so like, to me, I'd be cooking on the Arc Raiders. Except I just played yesterday for the first time, and I absolutely was terrified. So like, that was a whole new experience. It's a whole new experience. Shit was crazy. Shit was crazy yesterday. I'm at 194 followers on Kick. It's crazy. We're almost to 200. Almost to 200. I am not looking forward to these new weapons being added. I'm not ready for it. kind of like kicks. This build I got off this girl is not the girl I'm playing with. Some other girl that we played against. Hers just like jumps. I don't know. I gotta like. It goes up. What? I'm here. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not host. I was host, but I had to give it away. I'm trying to like. It keeps wanting to jump up and around. Like first person dies. I don't like that. I might just keep skipping around long range. Like I need a better AR class to like run. See, this is how mine aims. It just goes straight up and then eventually just cuts. Hers is just like, that's horrible. Mine just stables. Mine's just stable, like, and it's good. I know it can be better. I'm trying not to like sit on this like point, like lean up on this thing to like get it better, but like if I sit on this I can just rip, but I don't want to do that. I want to be able to what's that other class? I don't think so, honestly. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't run PC. But I could be wrong. Because I run wire controller and I don't have to do anything. Yo, Mob, what's your AR build? Okay. Oh yeah, that's fucking annoying. This shit does not move. Okay, good shot. I wonder if I just switch that. I'll try that. Oh yeah, I just need to change the stock. The fuck? I had everything else. God damn. Shit does not fucking move. Alright. Good stuff. Good stuff, Mob. I just needed to make sure, like, it wasn't me that was the problem. And it was. It was me. My setup was wrong. I like the one I've run, but I can... Here, I'm gonna listen to see what yours looks like. Go ahead. I'm assuming the Hawker. Wait, what was the stock? Which one was the stock? Q-step, okay. I'm gonna try this out. Yep. That's not bad. I still like mine a little bit better. I don't know what it is about. Do you want mine, Mob? Wanna try mine? First up, you wanna see what I got? Let's go. Seth with the resub, 23 months. Oh god. I'll read that in a second. Give me 1 second. I got you. It is Hawker muzzle. 19 barrel, 19-inch horizon barrel. Herald Z1 rear grip. Yeah, I'm ready. Endurance stock, and then overpressured rounds. Yeah, you're good. Endurance stock, and then overpressured. Okay. Alright. Alright, Seth. Matty looks like the type of guy who was nicknamed the slur-slinging slasher in high school. It's fucking crazy. That is so... Why do I look like that? Why do you think I look like that? What? The slinging slasher. Fucking crazy. That is insane. You might have to add them, because I don't have them added. It's Corner Shack, right? Are we just doing... What lobby? Seth, that's crazy. That's crazy. The slinging slasher is crazy. Makes sense. Crazy. Crazy. That is funny though. I love whenever you resub and you just say random shit. We're gonna get an actual like compilation of this. All right. We should get compilate. Almost 2 years. Almost. And we just started doing these. We just started doing them. Damn. It's all good. should ask your teammates if they think you look like the big SSS. I don't think I want to say that. I don't think I want. I just sounds fucking. That shit just sounds wrong. I don't think that sounds any remotely the triple S. Do I look like a triple S to you? They're gonna look at me and be like, "What does that even mean?" And then I'm gonna have to explain to them what a slur slinging slasher is, and then they're gonna be like, "What does that mean?" This is gonna be bad. I don't think I can do that. I really don't. They 32. No, I'm 30. 32. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who said 42. That's great. Oh, okay. We're not playing this anyway. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I am old as fuck. I hate it. Reaction time so bad they thought you were 42. That's crazy. That's crazy. Reaction time so bad. That guy walked past me 7 times and then I shot him. That's how bad I am. That's how reaction time it is. That's how piss poor it is. My reaction time's so bad that we lost the game. Look at this. Didn't even get a chance to play it. That's how bad I am. Fucking ancient ass over here. Ancient ass me. Ancient having ass. Yeah, no one. Yeah, it was 42. They fucking left. They said nope. They said nope. They said nope. I wonder if we're gonna find any crimps today. We probably will. We probably will play. Kev. Seth and Brandon, I hit Plateau, right? I go to Plateau. And then I go on a hard losing streak, right? Go on a hard losing streak of like 5 straight games. And I go from Plateau back to where I'm at halfway, right? I go back to half. And for the love of God, I get like 1 or 2 wins, right? Get 1 or 2 wins back. I'm like, alright, this is a streak. And then we fucking get slammed. They'll throw us in and then we'll win. And then Silver One Wolf. Silver One Wolf. Hey, that was my first time ever playing ranked, okay? And I sucked. I was so thrilled to go to gold. I was so thrilled to go to gold that I gave Frank my account to go to plat so that I could play with you. I kind of wish I was. I kind of wish I would have played COD better back when we actually did ranked and stuff, and took it like serious and got better. Because I probably would have been plat. Probably, would be plat still, or maybe I'd be better. I don't know. Probably not. Maybe I just live in silver. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just a silver player forever in my entire existence. Definitely not bronze though. I can kill somebody, so that's good.
Take the objective. Hostiles have the hard point.
Top window. Silver one, wolf. Silver one. I got Mika. He's still top window. I didn't see you on point. That was my fault. I've blacked out. Back couches. Couches pushing you. Hey, one outer. He's gonna be above you out there. He's pushing you for aims. Can't think shit. Shaq's oatmeal away. Can't take shit actually. Move. Oatmeal away. I got one ult with me. Two ult with me. Two ult with me going down. Or dojo. Whatever. Oh, he's deep in there. Shaquille O'Neal is in the back. Last one, dojo. He's on their tin, on their tin. One more in their bench. Fuck, I just got deep. Cheap viewers, Brandon, get that fucker out of here. Get that fucker out of here. Tell me, cheap viewers, get his ass out. Server. Left side. Oh. One bullet, one fucking, yep. One more pushing. shit. Go ahead and start pushing 3. I'll grab point. Got him. Did you spawn out? Yeah. Two in the back. Two in the back. Two in the back. Gonna purchase thousands of bots for your Please do. That'd be funny as hell. Could you imagine having 1,000 bots to just see me on front page of Twitch? Be like, oh my god, Maddie, how the fuck did you do that? And I'll be like, you know what? I don't know what happened overnight, but I just got 1,000 people watching me now. For absolutely no fucking reason. There's 2 out there. People would be like, what? I've arrived, Matt! Let's go, Ty! Let's go, Ty! Let's fucking go. Sorry, I just saw that. I was locked in. Fuck. 10. Shaquille was watching Big Cut. That's crazy. Make hot. They're just holding that. Watch your right aim. One in the back spawn. One in the back. Oh. Can't win a fucking gunny. Fuck. One more. Outer bullet, 1 on me, 2 on me. Seth, how much is 1,000 bots for viewing? That's gotta be something crazy. I got him. Top window left side. And off he goes. And off he goes. Fucking sliding off. Oh, he's laying mid. One here. One shot. Oh yeah. One more side. There you go. Last one on. Front. Dead. 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 Sketchy Site says 90 for 1,000. $90 for 1,000. 1,000 viewers per day. I should clarify. $1,000. 1,000 viewers per day for $90 is insane. That's insane. $90 for 1,000 viewers. People do that though? Could you imagine people actually paying that shit? Got him. I don't know if it's 90 each day or just one time. Seems wild. Yeah, regardless, that's crazy. Regardless, that's insane. 55, 43, 29, 31. This is bottom. This is bottom. But I did my job. That's all that matters. I did my fucking job. I did my fucking job. Oh, I also had the most time. That's probably it. Seth, one day if I randomly am streaming and I see 1,000 followers or 1,000 eyes on my stream, I'm going to probably crash out. Not crash out. I'll probably just be like, what the fuck? And then you'll just be in here and be like, yep. I knew him. I know him in real life. He's famous now because he has 1,000 eyeballs on him. Be like, that guy's famous. Alright, hey, I already got my picture taken in Hollywood, so I think we're good. We already got my picture taken in Hollywood, thinking I was Luca, so we're good. We just need 1,000 eyeballs on Twitch. That's what we need. My fault. My fault. I went blacked out there and just fucking vetoed the first one. Oh, you know what we should have did? We should have just voted. Oh well, I guess we would have got Gridlock. They vetoed Utopia. Yeah, Gridlock sucks too. Gridlock sucks too. Seth. One of these days you're just gonna do it and I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, we have 1,000 people watching us, and I'm like, oh my god. What the fuck? I wonder how many people actually, like, real talk though, I wonder how many people actually view bot. Like, that has to be a thing, right? Obviously it's a thing. But, like, how? And why? Does it push you out more if you got more viewers? I just don't know. I just don't know how that, like, actually works. Oh, we go.
Transport the overload device into hostile zones.
One top blue. I got it. Now mark it. Mark it.
Device acquired. Transported to the enemy zone. Enemy control station.
One plane. Dead. Find me green. Good shit. Still got it though, so that's good. Top blue. Top blue half, maybe one. Their car, on the car. Good shit. That's crazy. It is fun. I like it. I like it a lot. It's fun. This guy's gonna score it though. No. He is a bullet. Heard. Probably not. No, he fell out. He's backside. I. I don't know where this fucker's at. Oh, mid-cut dead. Yeah, that guy was chasing you. Gonna go beat some fools down on Guilty Gear now. Good luck on your ranked grind, sir. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate you. Good luck on your beatdown. Fucking slam some motherfuckers. Slam some fuckers. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what though? It's accurate. I mean, it's facts though. That guy's 12-5 and he's just worried about kills. You're right. You're right. That's funny as fuck. P1. That's valid. Market. In front of me. Green, 18. Bach. Yeah, he's in the box. That's crazy. Shit. I was trying to get up there. Ah. I got you. You're good. Oh, he's one bullet top green. One more, two, one top red, two top red. It's all good. We should be able to score that. Fuck. Two mid-cut. That's theirs. What dumbass? Oh. Fuck. I didn't have any ammo. That's on me. this time. 18. 18. Oh, you got him. Good shit. That was too easy. Too fucking easy. I don't even know how I went. 17 and 13. I did nothing! I felt like I did nothing but get the kills and move them up. Which is fine. I mean, that's the point, you know, that's the point of the overload. Just trying to push them up and get them out and do all that good stuff. But holy fuck. We did our job. 17, 23, 19. Alright, you good. Like, 26 and 16, that's, like, that guy's right. I mean, going for kills is okay, but, like, you get 2 kills, you're good. You got 2 kills and 3 bodies with you, you're fine. Because they're not going to kill you. He's right. He's right. I'll be right back, though. I need a haircut. Holy fuck, my hair's long as fuck. Might have to get a fro, Brandon. Might have to get the fro going. Just kidding, we're not getting a fro. We're not doing that shit. Cooking. Bang. What? What? When did he... I'm gonna play... Are you rerun? I got one more match in me, and then I gotta run and play someone in college football for my dynasty, and then I'll be back on. Or I might get food, and then I'll be back on. Or... Ow. Maddie, how's it going, bro? Yo, what up, Yeti? Yo, Yeti, I saw you lurking. I see you lurking. Yeah, Larry, he just got back to me. Chill, man. Chilling, man? Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's what I've been doing. I've been chilling. Kicking ass. Taking names. Getting my ass kicked. You know, the whole 9. It's fine, though. How's the games been? Honestly, it's been back and forth. It's like, I don't know. I feel like one match we're doing great. Like, we did a search and we were up 4-2 and lost it 6-5. And it's like, damn. Yeah, Larry did get back to me. I told him after this match I'm going to hop on. And then I will, I'll play him. Yeah, I thought I added him in the Dynasty in the Discord, and I just at Alabama, and I didn't realize I didn't at Larry Alabama. It just said Alabama, and I was like, oh shit. Have I gone top 250 yet? No. God, no. This game hates me. This game, it will not give me the SR I deserve. I got on season what 2 or whatever. What was it? Season 2, last season. I got up to plat 3, and then it was like I need like a couple more, and then the game's like, fuck you, Maddie. Go all the way down. And then I do my placement matches, and I fry, and I do really good, and they're like, you know what? You're a gold. What? I do the rotations, I do the point, I do the killing, I get people off, I get like all this shit, and it's like, you know what? You're a gold player. I'm like, I am not anywhere near gold. I played in those gold lobbies. Those people don't know what the fuck they're doing. And then I play in diamond lobbies, and everyone knows what they're doing. Or like, and then I play good against like I love diamond lobbies because everyone knows the objective and everyone knows how to play it. Like playing people that are better, like diamond, crims, Eries, like it's all nice. It's very consistent. Very consistent. And then I go to gold and plats, and it's just like a free for all, and it drives me insane. Drives me insane. Insane. And then they get all cocky because they're like, oh yeah, we're good. Oh, I'm a gold, I'm good. No, you're not. Not good. All you doing is kill whoring. Can't kill whore, Yeti. You just can't do it. Kill whoring does nothing. It does nothing. You can't. You just can't kill whore. Like, and these people think that getting the kills is like the point, and I'm like, no. Get the trade, get the kill, win your ones, get the trade. Like, that's basics. And these people are like, oh, I got like 75, 80 kills, and I'm like, that's crazy. Yeah, you still lost on a hard point. Like, congratulations. Like, and then they blame I got blamed so bad. Oh my god, I went 42 and I'll never forget this. I went 42 and 20, right, on a hard point with these gold lobbies because I'm just trying to get out of plat. And I was like, whatever, I'll play the game. And I went 42 and 20. I had like maybe like 20 seconds on point. And am I gonna stream the game? Yeah, I'll stream. Yeah, I'll stream it. I'll stream the college game. Fuck it. But so I went like 42-20. I had like less than maybe 30 time, and I got the rotations. I beat everyone on rotations. Yeah. Hell yeah, yeah. You get to watch it. Watch how ass Notre Dame is. I got rotations. I beat my ones. I got the trades. I did all the right stuff, and my teammates blamed me. They blamed me because we lost. Oh, I killed it, but I got blamed for it because I had less than 50 time. And they're like, Maddie, you're ass. Like, you need to get more time. You need to get on point more. I'm like, I did the right stuff. It's not my fault you guys can't win. You're gunnies. Like, it's not my fault. I did the right things. I did the right plays. I got my trades. I got my kills. I won my ones. I got my twos. I went to new. And we still lost because they couldn't win on point. I'm like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I did what I needed to do to help us win and get it into a better position. But it's fine. Yeah. Oh, they told me I was dog shit and ass and all this stuff, and I'm like, bro, I did my job. It's not my fault that you're gonna be hard stuck gold 1 forever. Like, it's not my fault. But it is what it is. I'm sure they probably see my stuff now and they're like, oh, that guy wasn't fucking lying. That guy knew what he was doing. It's like, yeah, no shit. I don't know what we're doing. But if Larry's ready... Okay, he's ready now. Alright, I am going to leave, but I will be back on later. Because he's ready to play. He's ready to play this game, so I'm just gonna hop on and do that. But I'll be back on later. See ya. Alright, Larry, let's get it. Let's run it. Let's fucking run it. Share it, Yeti. Oh, man. Alright, I gotta change this to college football. Wow, alright. I guess I'll have to change it to EA college football. What the fuck? I'm going to send it to CB. Oh, dude, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Do it up. I can't believe I have to put EA college football. Insane. Dude, I don't know how well my team is. I mean, I lost to Florida State, and that really upset me. That really fucking upset me. But it's fine. I can't edit when I'm live. Well, I guess it's going to say that we're playing Black Ops on stream. It's fine. Look at that conference prestige, huh? I don't even know who else is independent. Alright, Larry, let's fucking get it, bro. He's logging on. Let's get it. I need to get the fuck out of Notre Dame. Wait, what? Why not I join one? Join what one? Like a thing? Discord? Are you in a Discord? Yeah, why are you still that? Well, I was going to. Okay, so I was going to, right? I was going to, and then I went on vacation, and then we all simmed it, and I was like, fuck. I don't want to be. I don't want to be there anymore. And I was trying. I should have told you whenever I left that I need on to do that, but it's all good. This year I'm done. This is my last year at Notre Dame, so I hope I sell. I think I might sell it all. Sell the team. Damn it, man. It's fine. It's fine. Look at that. 96 overall. You think... Where do you want to go? I want to go to Penn State, but... I don't think I'm getting an offer there. I got offers from everyone else but them. In Indiana, I almost took. I almost took Indiana before I left. That was the only other option I had last season. That I was like, ooh. I'll take it. And I should have, but I didn't. But it's okay. Bro, you should have. I know. I was so hesitant. I'm waiting. I was waiting for the Penn State job. I was waiting for the Penn State job. I was like, I'll suffer one more year. If I can go to the Natty and win it, maybe Penn State will fire whoever. And I'm like, nope. It didn't happen. But it's okay. It's all good. I gotta turn off my back bumpers because there we go. If I accidentally hit A or B on a route, I'm gonna be upset. Yeti, I'm sorry that I'm gonna have to probably beat Alabama. I know that's your team, but I'm gonna have to beat them. Roll Tide. Yeah, Roll Tide. Oh, man.
This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known.
I'm just going to run it. That was a good call. If I didn't have that guy blocked, I probably was gone. I had a lane all the way for a touchdown.
And after a successful run like that on first down, if you're the offensive coordinator here, maybe you're thinking about being aggressive and potentially taking a shot, because even if it's incomplete now on second, you only have a short amount of yards to go here on third.
Fuck. Had that guy too. Do you think he knows I'm gonna run it 3 times in a row on him? Does he read this?
On offense
Does he read the 3 runs in a row?
This crowd trying to make life miserable for
No.
this offense.
He did. He ran it. He read it.
Slams ahead for a yard out to the 33.
You definitely want to commit to the run game. You want to establish the run game. You want the defense to honor it. But if it doesn't work a little later down the road, you might think about running that run game.
Had that guy wide open. I forgot what he was. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does read it, Yeti. I got Gronkowski as a tight end somewhere. I don't know who that guy is.
Days you can start to feature him more and more in the passing game.
That guy's faster than that.
Handoff from the gun. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line. A loss of 1. Notre Dame has made this second outplay much more difficult after going backwards.
I know you can't hear me. I need you on a fade though. One of these fucking times.
Dropping back, it's Cantrell. Looking to scramble. On a little time, lets it
I
go.
need that motherfucker on that. I'm burning him. I'm going to burn him on the fucking sidelines if my guy can actually just fucking use his ears. He presses this man every fucking time on the right hand side, and this guy's fast. He can just burn him. I know there's a deep safety there. I might hit him over the 40. And if he's not open, RB should be, and if he's not open, X is. And I overthrew him. Fuck!
Third and long, and he'll try to throw.
Fuck! I had... He's open in the middle there, too.
That is exactly how you set up
Fuck.
when you're on defense, and especially when you're at home. If you can get that
I'm gonna kick you on the right hand side.
keep that crowd going and involved, man, is it fun to play defense.
Oh! 28 just got lit the fuck up. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. He just got fucking destroyed. Fucking 28 just said, yeah, I'm good. Nah, you ain't running on me.
Handoff from the shotgun. Just willed his way for a couple out to the 35.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Offense changing the play.
Nah, I was there.
Second down.
Oh.
throwing.
Oh. Oh. Fuck. Alright, so that play is really good. We're gonna run that.
That big pickup on what they call the drag route, but if you hit
Damn.
it on time, you can hit the turbo booster.
And you've got to be accurate on the throw too, Reese. Nice job by
That's
the
easy.
QB
Come on.
putting it out in front of his receiver to make an easy catch, and then it
That was an easy. Easy. Alright, let's see if I can get this going.
Turn on the interception.
And what a great moment for that young man right there. That's his first
Easy reads.
career interception in college
Easy
football.
reads.
He's a guy that's worked so hard. He wanted to make
Bro,
an
I'm
impact.
going to burn that motherfucker. I swear. I'm gonna get lucky one of these times.
To the air. It's Cantrell.
I'm gonna get that guy. I'm gonna hit him on a streak or something. Let's just try it. Honestly, I'm gonna try it now. As long as 47's not there. No, he's pressed up. Fuck.
Here's this offense with a fresh set
I'm
of
gonna run it. Yeah, where's my guy going? Why is he going backside? What?
from the gun. Running.
That wasn't even your guy to block.
They'll knock him down for a loss of
That motherfucker didn't even block. That motherfucker just said, what is this 79? What is 79 doing? He just said, fuck it.
offense's perspective. That's
Be right back. I'm getting on my PC, so I'll be over on Twitch. Alright, sounds good, dude. I'll be here.
Notre Dame has made this second outplay much more
I'll be
difficult
here.
than going backwards. Looking to fire.
Yeah, I get that. I win those.
One deep down the left side. He's got it.
I win those.
In the middle of tight coverage, and he still makes the grab at the 15.
Nice throw there, getting the first down. This offense all of a sudden looks a whole lot different than what they did the last time out.
So first down didn't exactly go according to plan. Let's see what they can dial up on second down.
Reese, I got a bright brown. Okay, I'm going to throw the football now and get back in shotgun. Forget the running game stuff. We're going to play a little pitch and catch and see how good that secondary is.
He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. Third down, they can't pick up the first without scoring. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and what a big third down stop by this defense.
And it's a great play
I'm just
by
gonna
the
take the
defensive
points.
end. The most athletic players on the field play defensive end. Yes, you heard me, Jess, Reese. Exactly what I said. Great get off. Great job getting the backfield, making it play.
Now on fourth down, they'll send out the field goal unit.
I'm like sitting here. I'm like, I could go for it and get it, but
The kicker's head.
I'll just take the points.
Right down the middle.
My dog shit kicker didn't last season didn't do shit. So I think I'm all right.
Set to go.
I think I'm all right for now.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. They're going to need to get something started, finding themselves in a 3-0 hole. Holes and fires complete. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
This is no surprise to defenses anymore. Everybody throws wide receiver screens, and you can tell they were ready for it. They saw the quick game. They pounced on it, got the wide receiver on the ground.
No way.
They've seen that.
No way. I read it and I fucked it all up.
All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Really nice run there. No, listen, modern day college football, I know it's all about spread offense and throwing the football and going up tempo and scoring quickly. But man, you think back to Bear Bryant and Alabama. Doesn't it always seem like they've
Fucking
always
targeting.
wanted to establish the run game?
I literally targeted his ass.
Bryant would have loved this guy.
Look at this. At the end, he's going for his at the end. It's crazy.
The Crimson Tide comes to the line with the 1st and 10. Running back searching for a hole. Not a whole lot of room.
Give me that
there.
play again.
3 yards, maybe. Second
Actually,
and
no.
7.
Give me a wall.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously
33.
you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Little too soft on that run defense. He picks up 4 to the 32.
Just a simple power play. Again, not sexy. Run the ball up the middle. Physicality, offensive line. There's something.
Oh my God! You're right there. What do you mean? What do you mean?
The offense somehow fell on it and
What?
retained possession. I don't know
What?
if it was luck or aggression or just a fortuitous balance, but at least they've got the ball back.
But one thing I do know, Reese, this running back has got to do a better job with ball security. You cannot turn the football over and expect to win this game. They're very lucky.
Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum.
Oh yeah. Get that motherfucker out. The fuck? I got someone better substituting? Come on now.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision.
This drive opens up at the 23-yard line. The give on the inside. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And that's a great play by the defensive end. The best athletes on the field play defensive end. You can ask anybody. Yes, I agree, Jesse. They agree with me. Same thing. But you watch them get off the football, make the play. That's why you put your athletes there.
Rides to the back. Really nice job.
Should be
to
good.
squirt his
It should be
way
good,
back
Yeti.
to the line.
He's thrown 2 interceptions so far.
Knowing that early in the drive, you can turn around, hand it off.
So far, he likes to throw it over the middle. Throw it over the middle. And then he likes to run underneath.
The Tide crowd rolling noise down on the Saban field on 3rd down.
You're not getting him.
Back to pass. It's Cantrell. A little release to the back. He's out across the 40, out of bounds.
His weak side is right, it seems like.
Continues to be key.
I don't always have to push the ball down the field. I love when QBs drop back, look at it, match up.
Oh yeah,
I got my
I know I know
first down.
I know that motherfucker can get a first down. First down.
Nice job by the QB, nice job by the running back.
They'll put it in play from the 41 on first down.
Fuck it.
Handoff to the single running back. Creating some space, getting just
I'm gonna hit him with a play action.
got it up to the 47-yard line.
I know that wasn't a huge, sexy gain. I know not everybody's jumping up and down, but what it does do is put you in a great position to succeed on second down. Second and 10, really hard. Third and 10, really hard. Now you're in a manageable situation. Really gives you the whole playbook.
Notre Dame trying to keep this drive moving on second and short.
Easy reads.
Now the play fake.
Easy reads.
Makes the grab on the left. There he goes. Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34.
And that's why if you're the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible.
He likes to pressure me on the right.
The ball close to the line
But
of
his left side, or no, his right side's weak. But right now he's pressuring me so far on the right heavy, so I'm just moving over to the left. Now he's gonna pressure me in the middle, and I'm just gonna run this.
First down.
I'll take that.
The gun.
I'll take that
Give it on
loss.
the inside. He's gonna lose a yard on that one.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You can tell the
Tsunami.
everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
After losing yardage, it's second and 12.
He's not giving me anything deep. You gotta throw that faster, bro.
It's Cantrell.
We got a guy out wide open.
Get it out.
Wide the fuck open.
Did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning.
The defense sniffed that screen out perfectly. All the D linemen, they were reading the body language of the offensive line. They knew something was up, and when the screen pass got thrown, they were right there to make the tackle.
Just gonna let it run.
No secret. They wanted to target
I think I'm
their
down.
receivers, and they've
What's
done
oh?
just that in the first. And they've swapped ends
Are we
of the
down?
field, and we'll get
I'm
it
gonna
going
run
in
a
second.
fucking ball on 3rd and 18. Can I adjust that, please? Unless he pressures me back, it might work. It's not gonna work.
This offense had a little extra
This
time to think
motherfucker.
about it. Let's see what they have on third down. The give to the back.
We're kicking the field goal.
The 33-yard line as this defense gets a third down stop.
That might have been the play, honestly. It wasn't a terrible play. It wasn't a terrible play call. Would I have done that? No. I would have passed it, but I have a chance to get 3.
And on fourth down, here comes the field goal unit. This whole
Fuck!
play is gonna see if this
Fuck!
can operate in a sea of noise. And it's no good.
Fuck!
Guys, a missed opportunity there. The lead is still 3.
Hey, sometimes I just feel like fourth down, man. Just go for it every time. Like,
I would have made that too if I hit it straight.
kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you
That's
left some
all right.
points off the scoreboard there.
If I would have hit straight on, I would have had it. Is he getting a delay game? Is he here?
Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. Offense took a little bit too much time at the line there.
If he delays one more time, I'll decline it. messaging me. Sorry, man. I just. Okay, sounds good. Okay. Rest in peace. Yeah, he lost connection. Okay. Well, that's it. I'm gonna end stream. Yeti, I'll message you. What he messaged me. You're good. It's not. You're good, dude. He said he can't play right now. People showed up and he has to help with stuff. Just tell Yeti to give you the win. I said, all good, dude. No problem. Yeah. Rest in peace. He had to do stuff, I guess. He had to get off. It says, all he said was, sorry, man, I can't play right now. People just showed up and I have to help with the horses. Just tell Yeti to give you the win. Well, shit. Yeah, I know. I was ready. That was a good game. The fuck? Fuck. That was a great game. Here, I'll ready up. I did my job, Yeti. I readied up. I readied up for you. Well, that was anticlimactic, if I have to say myself. I thought we were gonna have a showdown in Alabama, but wait a minute, we're in Outlaws. Okay, you're good. You good, dude. You good. Can I upgrade my coach skills? Yo, I need this. I need that. I need to recruit some talent. Actually, I might just totally purchase that. Or one of them. I guess it don't matter. I'm at 24. I can't do anything anyway. I mean, I guess I can technically upgrade other stuff, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to wait. Yeah, you do. Hey, my recruiting is elite, Yeti. I don't even look. I just take whatever's available. And my team's pretty okay, if I do say so myself. My team is elite. You know, I'm ranked 17 for a reason. Not that the committee just gives me the fucking ranking or anything. Yo, someone Stanford? Damn. Ohio, Bowling Green. Crazy. Who do I... What gauntlet do I have this week? Who I got? Come on. I don't care about Sawyer. Oh, Boston College. You know, the sad part is about Boston College, Yeti. I'll say this before I end stream. Last time I played them... Or no, was it Boston College or Stanford? I blew one of them out, and the other one came back, and we had a shootout, and we scored like 70 fucking points apiece. I'm like, there's no way. There's just no way. Like, what are we doing? Like, no defense, all offense. Defense is trash. Shit's rigged. Look at this. I could have been the head coach of Indiana. And I would have faced Notre Dame. I could have faced my former team and lose, but I could have faced them. And I couldn't get a winning drive there. No shot I'd beat him 45-10. No shot. I would have said 20 to like 3, maybe 20-10. Oh, wow. I have an easy-ass schedule. Oh, no, I don't. I have Oklahoma and USC. I have 2 bye weeks back-to-back. That's crazy. I got a whole month off. Got a whole month off at the end of the season. Look at this. Notre Dame's literally cheating. Can they please go into a conference? Like, what? What do you mean? I play like okay, Big Ten, what is this? Big Ten, ACC, okay, SEC, ACC. Is it Stanford ACC? I think Stanford's ACC. SEC. I don't know what Navy is. I want to say independent, but I'm not sure. That's probably wrong. ACC, FCC, Big Ten. Like, who does Notre Dame actually play every year? Besides, like, whoever. Crazy. Craziness. Ridiculous. Yeti, are you streaming right now? We can read out to you if you are. Or if anyone's streaming, I guess. Let's rate someone watching the Masters. I feel like that's a good play. This person's literally streaming the Masters. They're probably gonna get banned. It's fine though. Black Ops. A lot of people are playing Black Ops. We'll go. Who's on? No, you're not. Come on, Yeti. What the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing? Symbols. Standy. Could read Standy. Himothy. It's always a tough one. Yeah, you got anyone online? It's fine. We don't have to do it. It's alright. We're good. Okay. I thought someone just invited me to play college football. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's fine. Well, I might be live again tonight playing COD. We don't have scrims or anything tonight, so I might just run ranked if peeps are on. If not, you know, who knows. I'll be live again tomorrow, though, in the morning sometime, if we're not doing anything. And then if not, Monday, I definitely will be streaming Monday and all next week. Monday's going to be a later stream instead of with Tuesday because I have appointments. But we'll still be live. We'll be back. Kicking ass and taking names, alright? We'll be back. Yeti, I hope you have a good day. Brandon, Seth, Kim, Sticks. Still in here, just lurking. Appreciate all of you guys. Appreciate everyone that came out. Appreciate all the love, support. Hope everyone has a great day. Kick ass and take names. Do it. Do it.